Hello, sneaky snake traders, retail traders out there. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm Washboardjim with a sneaky snake trading strategy that I've developed where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And here for the last few months, I've been talking about irrational exuberance and how people are going berserk in Wall Street, how this extreme greed has caught up to them, and how complacency could probably tear you up if you don't get prepared for it. And so I've been kind of just playing one trade at a time. It's been a simple way to trade this market. I have a great watch list. Anything that I see is red on that watch list, I'm ready to buy it, look at it, and say, okay, let's get ready to get in the dip here. Buy at support, sell at resistance. So I want to talk about money. Money. Does money make you happy? See, I can sit here and be a loner and make money right and left, and it makes me happy. But what makes me more happy, you have the money. So what makes me more happy now is sharing the idea of how you can make money in the market, and how easy it is and how simple it is if you just take a step back and relax and create your own little trading strategy. Try not to overtrade. I've had many strategies. I have hundreds of strategies, I can't tell you how many strategies that I've developed in the past 20 years. The past 3 years, I've really developed a strategy that is a no-brainer that could win 95% of your trades if you're just patient and trade it right. And it's real simple. It's the simplest strategy that anybody could ever possibly dream of. And all you do is just take time, study a few patterns, study a few moving averages, and have a small watch list, and just keep on it. Keep on it. Keep reading the news. Find out what's in the now. What's moving, what trend are we in on that trade? I'm talking about great companies with billions and billions of dollars. They all have an opportunity for an entry level. They all knife, and they're so good at stocks, they bounce right back. So money's not the factor to me. The factor is sharing the idea on how to make money. That's what pleases me. Money makes me happy. The one thing I cannot stand is hear someone say that money doesn't make you happy. Well, that's bullshit in my book. It's on how you handle it. I'd rather not have to worry about paying my utility bill every month. I'd rather not have to worry about, chicken's up 50% this month. I can just go in there and buy it, not worry about it. Worry about money, it's the most stress. More deaths are caused because of the stress of money. More divorces are caused because of the stress of money. So don't tell me money doesn't bring happiness, because that's a bunch of bullcrap. It's the person. It's just like the gun, The gun doesn't shoot. It's the person that holds the gun that does the killing. So yeah, money it's never been a thing to me. I've been trying to beg the room to buy me a vacation to Mexico, but I ain't got one of them to do it yet, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm here to share a simple and easy strategy that can take anybody from the lowest of lows, and all they got to do is just sit down, study a few patterns, study a few moving averages, and be in the now and have a small watch list, and I guarantee it, you can make money every single day. So we're going to talk about the watch list right now. And this is called the Tony and Jim watch list that I created for the room of some high flyers that we've had here in the past, 7 months, that have just gone berserk. That is irrational. Very irrational. Stocks that are up 400 or 500% that don't need to be up that high in a short period of time. So it's just a great. I've missed so many bubbles. I missed all the bubbles. I missed every one of them. on how to short them. It could have made a killing. And the same thing's happening right now with this AI situation. There's just a big bubble. The stocks are up from $300 all the way up to $2,000. Hello. In a short period of time. So we're going to go through this watch list, and we're going to put it on the 1 hour time frame, and we're going to see what we got here. And we're going to probably go through the 5-day, 5-minute, and see what kind of run we've had in the past week. Now, Tesla, we took a great trade on Tesla a couple times this week. We had a double bottom at 164.82 Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we had a great trade on it off the 200. Now, this is on the 5-minute Thursday, and then Friday came, and I caught the knife on this thing, and I mean, I just love this trade Friday. It's just like, thank you, Lord. And it was just off fake news. So that's what being in the now. I mean, when I heard the news, I said, oh, there ain't no way, because I've been preaching this $25,000 car for a couple of years. He wants to make these cars affordable. He doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about margin. That's why Wall Street can't stand him. So that's Tesla. SPY. Put it on the 5-day. SPY had a couple first days out of the week that were pretty rough. And then come Tuesday, we started bouncing up. We pulled back, created a double bottom here on Wednesday. Popped after hours, then had that big knife. Thursday. And then we traded it off to 200 on Friday, right out of the gate. Now this is on the 5-minute time frame. Now you pull up the 20-day 1 hour. We pulled back pretty big down here on these shoulder blades. Now we could still continue to have a lower low, but we do have a 1, 2, 3 right here, and we could probably bounce off around 514, maybe. But we got to break the 200. The 200 is going to be our pivot point on the 20-day 1 hour, and that's on the SMA. So we're flagging out. We'll probably double top the 200 and then come back and consolidate and then go sideways and then start to bounce back up. But I'm still got to be very cautious in this market. AMD, put it on the 5-day last week. This was a great trade also. This is what I mean. Now, look at this. Okay, look at this. Jimmy said bubble. I know what a bubble is. Okay? I know what a bubble. This is a 1-year time frame. So we went from $81 all the way up to $220 in a year. Is that's almost a 300% increase. 300%. I've not seen that. That's disgusting. We got to pull back. We got a triple top breakout right here with this gap. We got a gap right here. So we got a couple good spots where we could maybe pull back and find support. Or even take them off the 200 when the time comes to start loading up the boat. People are wanting to buy up here, and I'm saying, are you people freaking nuts? We're up 300% in a year, guys. Come on. This thing can dive 50% and still be overbought. So that's AMD. We are kind of consolidating down here, and this could be a place that we could find some support, especially after that little flush out that we had on Thursday. So it's somewhere right in here. We got us a little Darvis box. And that's the pattern that I see right now that we could hold. People get complacent and they don't realize how much we've ran up in the past year. When I'm saying 2 or 3, I haven't seen these stocks ever run 200 or 300%. Okay? Ever. 20 years I've been here every day. This is ridiculous. This momentum these idiots got's ridiculous. And it's going to get a lot of people in trouble if we don't be careful. 165.39 for right now to hold. I mean, you've got some huge stair steps to take here. So it could hold the bottom of this Darvis box, AMD, and have a little channel of plate them, maybe run up and hit the 63 and kind of mess around the 63 EMA. And always remember, if we pull back on the daily to the 200, I'd be looking at every trade and taking it. There's no doubt in my mind. The QQQ had a week last week that we will never forget. Had a big old sell-off there on Thursday, and people were in this trade. Man, I'm saying we're at a double top. Think about it on the 5-day. Taking that profit. So we had a nice pullback here of the Monday and Tuesday, and then regained ground on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So there's your 3-day run. And then we had that news of the Fed coming out saying there might be no interest rates. See, this is about being in the now and being the way I am. I've been here 20 years every day. So I watch CNBC. And you can listen to me on YouTube. I get pissed off half the day listening to them. So they're running this market up like I've never seen them. I mean, just get real irrational, real exuberant, with not stating the facts on why this market's running up so much. So they come out and they say the market dictates what's going on, and they're saying that the market dictates 6 rate cuts. And they said this in December. And I said, are you people freaking nuts? Are you nuts? The market's not telling you diddly. The market's telling you that we're at extremely greed levels. That's what the market's telling you. It has nothing to do with the margins. It has nothing to do. It's an AI bubble. And we've had such a hard sell-off, and they want to keep their little boy up there, their little puppet in the White House, so they can keep spending this money. So they want to keep this market up. I mean, they're highly, and it's an election year. They don't understand the disconnect between the private sector right now and these guys, which don't go to the grocery store. You know, they got maids that do that for them. They just sign the check. They don't ask questions because they're making a killing on this guy. These hedge fund managers are making more money under, they made a ton under Obama. But man, you're talking 4 or 5 fold under Biden, because he crashed the market and then they bought the dip. And I was saying things were cheap, and I'm not saying it no more. I will not say it at these levels. I'm waiting for the crash, and then I'm going to say it again. Stocks are cheap. But I'm not going to get caught up in this soap opera. Amazon. I mean, it's great. These knives are going to come in heavy, and they're going to be great opportunities. I would not swing a damn thing in this market right now. I mean, we've had a good pullback, but we could have a lot more. Now, Amazon's one that I'm very bullish on, and I'm still bullish on, but we are definitely getting at extreme resistance levels. But I think this one's undervalued, and it's worth at least 2 to 3 times as much. Right now, we're at 186.13 resistance. If we get any kind of pullback this week, maybe, I'm talking about the 1 hour. So if I see it close to the 200, I'll start loading the boat. And that's true about with any trade that I take on you more at these extreme levels. See, we're bearish on Apple, but they're pumping the shit out of Apple right now. And we've held this 168.69. So if we reach down to it on the 1 hour, we could probably still take it and run it up to the 200. and go long until we hit the 200, or it could happen in one day. And that's only $1.30 break. And then long right around the 176 right here on the shoulder line of this head and shoulders. So we're looking at a triple bottom with a 1, 2, 3 break past the 200 up to the head and shoulders. And that is if it holds 168.69. And then NVIDIA, they're still pumping NVIDIA, calling it the kingpin of everything. Here's another one that I just get sick of them people, man. $262 all the way up to $974 in a year. It'll be a very good buy if you can get it to the 63. If we can find it at the 63 or somewhere right around $800 level. Now, they pumped this stock for almost 7 months last year for it to break 500, and I said it ain't going to happen. Not till the first of the year. First of the year came, and bam. It's been nothing but run up. So this is irrational exuberance. I'm going to show you a way to trade this stock. Go get your Fibonacci set up. Run it to the highest level to where you think it started to break out. And catch it right off that 63. If this thing dips on down here, set you an alert right around 781. We'll set it at 789. We'll make it, yeah. And when that alert comes off, I'll know it's pulled back 38% from the top, and I'll be able to trade this first support level off this Fibonacci. That's NVIDIA. That'll be a strong buy, and I'm telling you, this thing's way overbought. I don't care if they put out 20,000 of these processors. This is just, and it's a great trade right now. Don't take me wrong. It's a great trade right now. You get a knife like this, yummy, yummy in my tummy. And we are down here. See, we had a triple bottom on a 20-day, 1-hour time frame. It's a great setup. So if we come down here and start to create a shoulder line off these here heads, that'll be great. So let's clean this up. We're going to look at a couple other time frames on this. So this is really a tough one. No, let's, what am I doing? We did the Fibonacci on it. So we're going to pull up the yearly and look at the daily candle. And we just now breached below the 21. So the 21 is going to be the resistance or the support level on the daily for this coming week. If we can't hold that 21 and it dips down below this bottom candle right here, we will drop a lot more. So that's got to hold. And that's a pretty solid support. You got your month and a half Darvas box here with a double top, higher high. So NVIDIA will still be in play, maybe this week even. If you look at the weekly, we definitely got a gap right here, and that could be your second support. That'd be a solid buy. And that number is 841.53. So there it comes back and holds this double triple bottom here at 859.47, which I see right now, which was that dip, which is a perfect support level, or it holds right here. That'd be your first, second, and then if that doesn't hold, I'd wait, take this trade around 841. Definitely. That's NVIDIA. PLTR. We got to break the 200. Right now we got a symmetrical flag. So it's going to squeeze this week. If it comes down and creates a shoulder line, I think it could be a good buy. Here's your head and shoulders. So your support level is going to be right there. Create you an alert right around 2240. And I won't look at that trade until it hits that number. And if it doesn't hold, then I'll take a double bottom on the 20-day. IWM, called this out last week. Man, this was a great trade last week if you were paying attention. Monday and Tuesday, we both knifed. Then we had a double bottom. On Wednesday, great bounce to the upside. Then the Fed came out with a 1, 2, 3, and we bounced that up. And then it came down again. So, yeah, I mean, the IWM, they're going to be pumping this Russell. They pump the Russell as hard as they can. They want this market to broaden out. They want, instead of people just taking their money and holding and buying, this is what I think is going to happen. These runners that run 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900% in a year with this AI run are going to pull back, and they're waiting for the pullbacks, and they're not accepting this broadening out scenario that everybody's talking about. They want to keep in stocks that are doing the good job that's going to create our new economy for the next 5 years, and that's going to be the AI gig economy. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it right here. I'm taking all these runners that have run 400 or 500%, and I'm looking at the ones that are red, and I'm buying the dips every single day, and they're bouncing. So we got Google next. Google, same thing, same scenario. A great buy opportunity on this knife. We had a 1, 2, 3 pullback on a 20-day, 1 hour, 30-minute time frame. If you look at the 1 hour, the same thing. We had 1, 2, 3 on the hour, and she bounced up off that 1, 2, 3. Now, again, I've got to emphasize, these stocks are way overbought, but some of them aren't. And Google is the one. But Google has so much controversy around it. But it's undersold. It could be a good runner, long. So we're consolidating. We've had a good run. Don't take me wrong. Look. $1.02. I mean, it's not done its duties like the other ones. There's no 400 or 500% run on this one. Just a 50% run. So this thing ever touches that 200, man, 135, go long in the trade. If it touches the 63, start to get into a position. We got a two-headed snake up here. We got a gap. The 147.08. So this is a day trade stock right now. We've had such a good run here just in the last 30 days that it can consolidate about 50% and then be a strong buy right around the 143 area off that 63 EMA on the daily. And then you look at the weekly. We had a double top breakout last week. This one's oversold. They'll run this up $200 or $300. I mean, $200 or $300 when it gets ready. It's way oversold. Meta's another one. They're pumping Meta like I've never seen anything in my life. I'm going to tell them to screw off. This is $88 a year and a half later. 2 years later, year and a half, 2 years, we're at $530. Oh, Lord, help me. They're pumping this baby hard. Now, I said this thing was cheap. Under 100, $88. It's not cheap no more. This is knife catching material, if I've ever seen it. So anytime I come in here and I see a pullback, I'm going to be trading this stock. So right now, I mean, we could hit the 200 at $500 and be a very good buy, or we could hit this 512, which I can see that happening. So I'm going to set an alert right above the 63. And I'll move this around with the moving average every day. But this is tradable. Just got to catch the knife on it. They're going to pump Meta. They're pumping the heck out of Meta. Disney, same thing. They're sour grapes last week because they got the proxy all settled out. We closed below the 200 on the 1 hour. Now, this is also going to be another good trade to keep your eyes on this coming week. The pivot point is right at 117.64. I called that out on the dip. We definitely went below it, and we bounced back above it. So we're squeezing. Any kind of pullback for a double bottom here at 116.50 or anywhere in this area will be a good buy. Let's go ahead and set an alert right off this here peak here. But I'm trying to be the devil's advocate with the emotions that these activists are out there doing and calling these. It's margins, man. The margins, the margin. Netflix. They're talking about Netflix. Margin was way up, so it was too expensive. Now the margin's come down. Still too expensive, but it's come down. That's still some good news, the way they look at it. So Disney will be in play this week. If we can get down here and buy it right down here at this double bottom, gosh, I think we'd be in for the day. Or in for a good 3 or 4 day swing. Disney will never become okay until they solve the main problem. And I don't think it'll ever be solved. So they just got to kind of play with it. And that's wokeism. There's people out there that have decent, don't want it involved in none of this stuff. Teaching 12-year-olds how to suck dick. Come on. Yeah, I said it. That's what they're doing. 60-year-old men parading naked in front of little children. So, yeah, they got problems. TSM, but they don't care. Wall Street doesn't care. Heck, they spent most of their time at Epstein's place anyway. So you got TSM, the 200 SMA right now in the 1 hour. We do have a higher low. So if we breach that higher low, don't hold that 200, we can easily come down here and find a shoulder line right around 134. Now, this one here is also consolidating after a great run. When I called the bubble out. So we're flagging out. We got an ascending triangle. This thing could be getting ready to break out again. I never thought the day that we'd prey on our young children, that our country would do that. So the 200 on the 1 hour, 4 hour time frame looks to me like support, solid support. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and put that support level. That's going to be a strong buy right around 136.50. If that holds up. But right now we got an ascending triangle, and we could break out and find 146.17. The right shoulder line would be a triple top. So that would hit and then pull back down and hit this 142. So that's it. Solid support at 136. Resistance to break 142.88. Long 146. That 200 has to hold on the 4 hour. Then you got the Donald. Now, just the fact that his name's on here, and we are pulling back to support at 30, $38. So watch at 38, see if it holds. We could go a little bit lower, right around 36, and be a stronger buy. SMCI, downhill, we had a nice little bounce Wednesday, and then the sell-off Thursday, and then the continuation. Here's another one. I know they were pumping the heck out of this, and I was trying to fight it. Say, your people are nuts. Here's a stock that ran from $32.88 to $1,229 in 3 years. It's way overbought. I don't. You can give me 1,000 statistics. This thing's way overbought, so it's a day trade, scalping trade right now. Got to look for them patterns. So what we got now is we created a new shoulder line. We got, okay, right here. You see this peak right here? Let's clean this up. Let's look at a couple charts on this to kind of get a big picture. So we're going to look at the 4 hour. Look at the daily 1 day. And you go, oh my God. I mean, this thing needs to pull all the way back to the 200 to even be a decent buy. It's way overbought. So we do have a symmetrical flag. It will squeeze this week. We do have a 1, 2, 3 set up. We do have a pennant flag. We could bounce up and contain our 1, 2, 3 irrational exuberance to the top right here and find resistance right here off this top of this candle. We could bounce to 1047.44 if we hold this 1, 2, 3. If not, we'll buy it down here at 813 for a strong buy. And that's where I'd really like to take the trade. 822.16. What do you see, Jim? I see a Darvis box. I see a head and shoulders. I see a 1, 2, 3 support level, solid. So if this does not hold, I mean, this is real solid. You got a gap here. This is really, could be really good trade this week. So let me think here. Where was I? Solid support right there. 941.52, and that's off of 1, 2, 3. You got this and a gap. You got that candle right there, and you got that candle right there. So that's real solid, real solid, real solid. If that doesn't hold, I think you could easily drop down and breach all these candles right here and hit that 63 for a double bottom. And then start to run it back up. And if it holds the 941.52, the resistance is going to be the 1, 2, 3 up here. So this is a 1, 2, 3 trading strategy that I talk about every day in the room. The body has to hit that trend line, and we've not done that here. We got a body here, and a body here, and a body here, pretty much. So it's got to come back up. If it doesn't, it's a good drop to this and be a strong buy at 822 come this week. And that will kind of fill out the Darvis box. Right now you're at the pivot point, which is a support because it's holding up the 1, 2, 3. and a gap and a pivot point. So this is real solid. This is SMCI. We got to see what happens on Monday. It might break out and try to break the 21 and the 9. And if you can bust above the 9, I think you can get up here and get out at 1047.44. Is it going to break that? Hell no. You're up 400% on this thing in 4 months. Hello? Adobe. So Adobe is definitely at a support level. It could go a little bit lower and be a very good buy. So I'd be a little patient with this one here. Now we got a Darvis box. We got a Darvis box, and we kind of dove down in. We lost support right here. We do have a double bottom, but that's off the wick. I think we can pull down and hit the bottom of this Darvis box and maybe have a day trade to the upside to the top of it. If we do not hold that, we'll jump down here to the gap. Resistance to break 491.85. Now this is on the daily. Sometimes when you're pulling back and having knives, you got to go back farther. Let's pull up the 20-day 1 hour. So we're bearish. We can come down and then start to recover and run back up and hit the 63 on the 1 hour. EMA. 63, 63, 63, 63, 63, 63, 63, 63, 63, 63. And then we got Boeing. Now, they've not been in the news that much, but we still had a Boeing week where it pulled back all week. This is a shit stock. The higher gas prices is not going to be good for airlines. The Middle East conflicts right now, anything that's in the air is going to be an issue. So we wait, find support maybe down here at the 179, one more good knife, and then try to use these moving averages, the 200 for sure, as a resistance level on the 1 hour time frame on Boeing. Now, Netflix last week, was in debate a lot. People were definitely yakking about it. Is it overbought? Is it already priced in? They were talking about a lot of media stocks, Disney, and Netflix was coming up in the conversation a lot. I'd still look at the 200 SMA on the 1 hour before I'd want to take this trade, period. Reddit, here's the new one that came out. Now, Jimmy called a snake on this. We had a breakout and the pullback, and I called this out on Thursday. We had a little bounce up. We're squeezing. We got to break the 21. Now, this is on the 1 hour. We got to break the 63 EMA to run it up to higher levels. And I'm seeing the top of this wick right around the 57, 55 area. If not, we'll pull back, hold the shoulder line at 45.49, and if that doesn't work, we're going to fall a lot more. Now, this could be a good buy into this coming week. They are comparing it to meme stocks, so you got to be careful. Mister, here's another one. We nailed this last week. I was so impressed with this call last week. I called a pullback on Mister, and it was a gap trade, and we pulled back and hit that on Tuesday, and then I redrew it up, and then we went ahead and broke out to the resistance level of a two-headed snake, three-headed snake. And you can see that resistance level right here. You take the left shoulder, run it to the right there, and then that's where we ended up there. You see how easy that is? And then you got your 1, 2, three-headed snake. So each one of these represent a resistance level. And now we pull back to this channel. Strong buy at a triple bottom. Mr. Way overpriced. I don't care if this guy's landed on the moon. We're at $266 9 months ago, and we ran up to almost $2,000. I'm going to say it again, and I'll say it 5 times. Way overbought, way overbought, way overbought, way overbought, way overbought. Strong buy if this thing ever pulls back, maybe to the 63 on the daily time frame. Right now, it's only good to day trade and scalp. We had a hard sell-off on this thing Friday, so this could be in trade come Monday. People have no clue what irrational exuberance is. I do. I've been there. So triple bottom on the 20-day will be a strong buy. I'd set my alert off the shoulder line right here at one. We'll see what this is here in a second. And take that trade come next week. 1331.42 is a solid support. If that doesn't hold, no. That is a support. Solid support will be the triple bottom on the 20-day at 1260. That's got to hold to be a good day trade to run it back up. It's got to pull back more. Mister. And then you got Lily, another pump. CNBC pump. Any kind of pullback on this one's going to be a good buy. Now, if you look at the 3-year time frame on this thing, you'll understand why. We went from 178 all the way to $800, Lord. Help me. Way too much. All of a sudden, we're concerned about fat people. We do have an ascending triangle here, but this thing got to go down. It's a day trade scalp. For me right now, if this thing pulls back down to 775, I'd probably take this trade maybe. Or here's your low and run it up to that and set you an alert right up in here for this coming week at 757.54. I'm not falling for any of this irrational exuberance. Actually, the 200 could be a good trade. And then we got Lulu. Lulu took a spanking last week. 483 off earnings all the way to 355. So on a trade like this, you got to go back and look at a monthly time frame. And we could still drop down and hit the 63 and be a very strong buy. 63 here, 63 there, 63, 63, anywhere above that 63. And here's your inverse head and shoulders. Just draw this in here, right here. See how easy that is? And I bet you could take this trade right around 343 come this week. $345. Set an alert right above it. We're around 349, 350. I'll set it at 350. I'm liking this. Strong buy off the 63. But we got a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders support, and we'll see if that holds. And run it up to a double short, and we got two shoulders right here. So that's a hard resistance. So yeah, I could drop down definitely 317 and be a very good buy. Off the 63 EMA. I really like it there. Lulu. I called this out at $100. And we ran to 500 in 7 years. Right back in here is when I called it double top breakout. 2018. You see it right there, the triple top, resistance. Each one of these represent a year. Resistance, 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 and support. So she broke out. Got tired of it. That's a good spot, 321.40. Okay, well that's it for the watch list. I just want to emphasize that we're still way overbought in this market. And just we're in a very selfish, very greedish market. Very greed. And how important is that dollar to you? If you get to the point where you don't have to worry about it no more, that's great. But if you're constantly having to worry about paying your bills, that's not so good. So this market's overbought. And people are very greedy right now. And I'm going to keep scalping and day trading until we get a big correction. We're in a bubble. And that's it. Sneaky snake trading strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. But I just want to emphasize that people can lose money big time because we're up so freaking high. If you don't understand that, I've been trying to say it. This market's very irrational with the government we have right now and the world economy the way it is. China at its all-time low, getting into a real bad depression. 2 wars going on. Inflation's so high, the debt so high. It's not the time to be celebrating. This market's way overbought. And that's it. We'll catch you later. Retail traders. I might be a Debbie Downer, but I got a 95% success rate. Why do I have that? Because we're fucking overbought, man. This market's way overbought. We'll catch you later. Have a great day. Retail traders.